The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
So this is Katie Kittermaster on the Alpha Sessions. Hello, welcome back. You've been like mega busy, even in this pandemic. What's this year been like for you?
I have, yeah. Well, I guess I've tried to be as busy as possible in the current circumstances. Before this whole pandemic palaver, I was lucky enough to be pretty much touring full time from leaving school, which was really, really cool. So that was with Lucy Spraggan and Brian McFadden and Keith Duffy from Boyzone and Westlife, respectively. So that was pretty cool, just super busy. And I think when coronavirus was sort of mentioned and that we might have to stop the tour early, I was like, oh, nice few days at home, roast chicken, get my washing done, spend some time at home, a lion. This is going to be great. Didn't realise we'd still be talking about it now, but hey, it's fine. So yeah, and then I guess when we all sort of went into lockdown, just tried to make the most of that by doing, this little COVID cover challenge where I'd set myself to do like a cover of a song every day, but that was just mainly to sort of get me up and out of my pajamas and made sure that I showered and looked like, decent. So I think that really kept me going, which was good. I think it was probably quite annoying for some people, but I think other people enjoyed it. So
how did you pick the tracks?
So I basically did it following the alphabet for no particular reason. Just started with A and thought we might not make it to Z, but we are definitely past that now.
Because I caught the Kooks and Code Line, so obviously I was on K. And then kind of got lost in Instagram world after that, I think.
Just
they both sounded great.
Thanks.
Did you feel like the pressure to get creative during lockdown?
Yeah, I think there was. I don't know where the pressure came from. I feel like it was more like in my head of what I thought people would be thinking rather than people actually saying anything. But there was definitely a thing of like, you've got all this time to write and be creative. And I'm like, well, there's nothing to really be inspired by. I don't know. I feel like I didn't do nothing, but I definitely could have done more. But I think since lockdown eased and I've been doing quite a lot of co-writes with different people, which isn't something I'd really done that much before just because I was so busy. So that's been really good. I've written a lot over the last couple of months, I would say. So yeah, kind of neither here nor there, I would say.
I'd say mega exciting though, writing with other people, getting to do that as well.
It is. It's weird though, because normally it's people you've never met, and especially if it's over Zoom, there's sort of like a lack of connection. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird because a lot of my songs, a lot of songs in general are very personal. So when you walk into a room with a stranger and you're like, it's kind of like a therapy session, and that can sometimes be quite weird, and it's something you have to get used to. It's just like opening up straight away. So yeah, it's definitely, it's challenging, but in a good way.
You've also managed to release 2 singles, which is amazing. One of a Kind. What's that about?
So One of a Kind is a song I wrote, not the summer just been, but the summer before. The day I decided to break up with my ex-boyfriend. And I feel like when I was dealing with this process in my head of should I stay or should I go sort of thing, there weren't that many songs, on that side of the stick. It was more about being broken up with, and I was like, music is sort of how I feel like I can relate to something, and it kind of helps me deal with stuff. So when I didn't really have any songs out there to be like, oh god, they know exactly how I feel, okay, at least I'm not alone in this, I was like, I need to write one then. And I guess the writing process kind of helped me work out how I felt as well. So yeah, that's basically that track, and I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out.
And the video looks great. You managed to shoot that in between like restrictions and no restrictions, I guess.
Yeah, it was tricky. We had to have a really small cast, and like I'd love to have like a massive video production. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it's sort of, I don't know, when I watched it back, it kind of makes me look like a stalker just watching this couple like go about their daily lives and dates and stuff. But it's meant to be me like looking in on my own relationship and reflecting on these good times and these bad times that we had and working out like, is it worth it? Like, are the good times outweighing the bad to make it worth like staying with this person. So I hope that came across.
Yeah, I also got vibes of like you kind of looking in on your future and what you might be like in your future as well. Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's such an interesting process. I'd never really sort of like directed a music video / done a proper video really. So I think there's a lot of stuff you notice after that you're like, oh damn it, I wish me and the girl had been wearing the same outfits, so then you could tell that it was like meant to be me.
Yeah.
And like little things like that. But it was really fun, and like the people were really fun to work with. So yeah.
I think it's really cool that you had like total creative control over it and you could essentially like do whatever you saw fit, which is great, really.
Yeah, for sure. I've got another video coming out, well, not till January, for a song that's coming out in January called She Should Be Here, which I'm really excited for. I think that music video is really cool. So stay tuned for that. Anyone watching?
Unhappy birthday to me. When I said I hate surprises, I didn't mean not believe. We should be in Brighton right now, but here I am crying my eyes out. I thought that we were cool. Turns out I played the fool. I wore red just cause you liked it. I changed my mind, you were uninvited. So what am I to do? I should be in my birthday suit. Oh, why couldn't you hold out a little longer? Was it too much to ask? Unhappy birthday to me. When I said I hate surprises, I didn't mean not believe. Yes, it's a party for one. I've never had so much fun, cause I can blow out the candles and wish as loud as I want. Unhappy birthday to me. This was more than just bad timing. Turning 20, really thriving. Can't have your cake and eat it, when really underneath it, oh, there's so much more that I deserve. Guess everyone's a lesson learned. Unhappy birthday to me. When I said I hate surprises, I didn't mean not believe. Guess it's a party for one. I've never had so much fun, cause I can blow out the candles and wish as loud as I want. Unhappy birthday to me. Maybe next year will be different. Maybe my wish will come true. Maybe you'll find it in your heart to come home, cause I miss you. Do you miss me too?
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
We've sort of done these online sessions ever since Corona hit, and we couldn't get people down to studio. And you're one of the few, in fact, you're probably the only one that I've chatted to that's managed to pack in as many gigs in between things as you've managed to pack in. Like tons, like relative to Corona and how much you're actually allowed to do. Like you supported Kaiser Chiefs and Soul to Soul, Gabrielle, Rick Astley, and like you said, Boys Life before the pandemic started. Does it feel completely weird now, like to just almost like have the other extreme?
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very brief window of gigs. I was able to get like a release kind of party gig for One of a Kind when that came out, which was really fun, because before, obviously, when I was doing the tour, being the support act, most of the audience have like come to see the headline act. So I'm kind of trying to win them over, and the whole gig is like a challenge of like, are they gonna like what I've done and who I am, because they probably didn't have a clue who I was before the gig. So it's challenging, like I said, in a good way. But it was really, really nice to have my own gig where people were coming to see me and like knew the words and were wearing my merch, and that was just really cute. so I was really glad to be able to do that, and obviously the support gigs that I did for Kaiser Chiefs and all those people that you mentioned were really good as well. They were like these like drive-in cinema kind of gigs.
Yeah.
So everyone's in their cars or like in the area around the cars. So it was definitely a new way of doing it, and people would sort of honk their horns instead of clapping, which was strange. The first time that happened, I was like, oh Jesus, what's going on? But it was really good to get out and do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird doing nothing now, but I feel like we're kind of used to it and just we've accepted it for what it is. I mean, none of our industry in the creative world are very happy of how things have been
of course
dealt with, but what can you do?
What about rituals for the gigs? I mean, you chatted briefly about people pumping their horns. Was there like anything else that happened that you weren't expecting that's different to like normal gigs? Because I haven't done the whole car gig thing, so I'm just intrigued more than anything else.
I think one thing that was kind of weird with the indoor gig, so the headline that I did, was that no one's allowed to sing. So my fans were there in the crowd being like, shh, if they sung along, which wasn't fun because, you know, that's the whole gig atmosphere, is everyone like together, like the community. But with the outdoor car gigs, I can't really think. I mean, you had to wear your mask literally until you were singing. So during sound check and stuff, obviously you take it off when you're singing, but obviously there's restrictions like that. But otherwise it felt like a moment of normality, really. Amazing. Which was nice.
I think the horns was my favourite.
Yeah, definitely.
Your second single, or the latest single that you released, Problem, what's that about?
So The Problem is a song I wrote by myself. So I was going on a writing trip to LA in January, and I was very nervous about this whole process because there were 3 of us flying out, and obviously it's quite far away, and that means therefore it's quite expensive. And I was like, oh god, all this pressure, like what if I have writer's block when I'm there and I can't write a song, and I've never worked with these people and I haven't done many co-writes and I don't know them, and the whole thing was just very like, oh my god, the pressure, like you're going halfway across the world to write, and if it's all, you know, not very good, then that's not very good. So I thought I better just check that I can still write songs. So the night before the flight, I was sat literally right here in my writing space and wrote this song called The Problem, which is quite a personal song. It's sort of about anxiety and struggles with depression and, I don't know, like trust issues and self-sabotage and all this, you know, very cheery stuff. And yeah, I don't know, this song just sort of fell out of me. It's sort of just very like me in my own head, like thinking about stuff. I don't know if most people's mums are the same, but my mum would always be like, if I'd fallen out with a friend or, you know, something hadn't gone your way, and they'd just be like, oh, don't worry, it's not you, like it's them, like they're jealous, and like, you know, always make you feel like it's not your fault. And then I was like, what if it is? Like, what if I'm the problem? I'm the common denominator in these situations, so like maybe it's me. And yeah, I think this was just sort of like a very low moment, which I like to write about because I hope that like people can relate to it, and also I can see that, you know, things get better.
I don't want to be a burden on you. Don't want you to have to go through anything like you did that day. So I won't tell you what it feels like on the inside. I'll tell you that I'm feeling just fine, so that you don't run away. I've been trying to tell myself that I'm better. I've been trying to tell myself I'm alright. I've been trying to tell myself that I'm stronger than I was before, but I know that I'm lying. So maybe it's just me all alone. Maybe it's just who I am. The doctors got it wrong. No healing or grieving or speaking as someone can change me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I unfair, but I don't wanna scare you away. I don't wanna lose everything. And sometimes I forget what he said when he broke me, and I think to myself, or maybe I've won, it's all gone, I can be happy. You see, I've been trying to tell myself that I'm better. I've been trying to tell myself I'm alright. Trying to tell myself that I'm stronger than I was before, but I know that I'm lying to me. But maybe it's just me all alone. Maybe it's just who I am. The doctors got it wrong. No healing or grieving or speaking as someone can change me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I always thought that it was just a phase, a teenage kind of angst, but it seems it just won't go away. And I didn't want to tell you, 'cause I'm terrified that you'll do what he did. Oh, believe me. So maybe it's just me all alone. Maybe it's just who I am. The doctors got it wrong. No healing or grieving or speaking as someone can change me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's just all my fault. And maybe they left 'cause I forced them to bolt out the door. The people I adore, like ghosts from a past life. I didn't know why. But maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem.
The Alpha Sessions.
And you also did a remix recently on the song. How come you decided to do that?
So it wasn't really me deciding to do it. I think Chill Point Charlie wanted to do a remix of it, and I was
Nice.
like, sick, you do you. If you want to do my song, then cool.
Cool.
I think it just sort of like opens the song out to a different market of, you know, music that different people like. So yeah, just a bit of fun, really.
Rewinding to the brief chat we had about you supporting the quite large names, and also constantly looking at the Boys Life and Lucy Spraggan posters behind your head, it kind of just reminded me, do you have you learned anything from the bigger artists that you've supported?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've learned a lot about like their stage presence, and how, like, when I go to a gig, I'm going there to sort of watch their stage presence and see what they say in between songs, and like get to know them a bit more rather than just listen to the songs, because you could do that from home, if you know what I mean. So I think, I mean, they're all like really, really good on stage at just like talking to the crowd and getting everyone involved. So
and is there anyone that you haven't supported that you would love to?
Yes, many I've got a bit of a Harry Styles obsession at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have since I was about 12, but yeah, I think, I mean, that would just be the dream. Holly Humberstone's a really cool up and coming artist who I just love. Same with Maisie Peters.
She's amazing.
Yeah, I think those two are definitely two people that I really aspire to be like and inspire me in my writing. So yeah, probably them.
I don't know if you remember, but last time you were on the show, I asked you if you could have any rider, what would it be? And you said a micro goat. And
yes,
this became iconic.
Still backlash.
And when I ask other musicians that question, they're like, well, how far are we going? And micro goat always comes up as like a line in the spectrum. I wanted to know, like, have you had the micro goat yet?
I haven't, and weirdly, I've actually been trying to speak to my mum about getting a pet, so I would love that. It really could be. I haven't had one as a rider yet, but you know, the dream would be big, and one day I'll let you know if it happens.
Dream big. That's good. And then finally, you've got a massive following on social media and are really good at interacting with fans, and there's like merch and competitions and all sorts of fun stuff. Do you have any advice for any upcoming musicians to grow their following? I guess especially female.
I think my main advice with all this sort of stuff is just make the most of the fact that you have access to the whole industry, really. Like, you can find out like the details of managers and promoters and A&Rs and record labels, so you can sort of be right in their face, and you got to make the most of that opportunity really that we have with social media these days, and just to interact with anyone who is showing interest. I don't know, like do covers of songs that are trending at the moment, because you never know, if you jump on that hashtag, who might see it. And just post regularly. I think probably some good tips.
Wise words.
But it is kind of a minefield, the whole thing, this whole industry. You've just got to try everything, because you don't really know what's going to be your lucky moment.
Well, you've had some, so.
Mm.
If people want to follow you on socials and stuff and get to know more about what you're up to, where can they go? What can they do?
They can find me on pretty much all social media platforms, so Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Is that everything? Maybe SoundCloud. As Katie Kittermaster. So yeah, that's
amazing.
Me.
Thank you so much for spending the time, and hopefully we can catch the new single in January as well.
Yes, I hope so.
I'm still wearing your t-shirt when I go to sleep. I'm still wearing your smile, and I'm still hoping you'll come home again soon. But I've been hoping for quite a while. Maybe you think of me when you have a cup of tea or brush your teeth, and maybe you moved on. Maybe you still miss my early morning smile. Maybe I'm just not the one. But I'm sleeping in your t-shirt till the sun comes up, hoping that the morning brings you home. Sleeping in your t-shirt like you're here in my arms, like it's the only t-shirt I own. I wake up every morning thinking of Oliver, and then you'll be, I'm just a silly girl with a dream. The stars, the moon, they make me think of you, but then they're pretty far away too. So maybe you think of me when you have a cup of tea or brush your teeth, and maybe you moved on, or maybe you still miss my early morning smile. But maybe I'm just not the one. But I'm sleeping in your t-shirt till the sun comes up, hoping that the morning brings you home. Sleeping in your t-shirt like you're here in my arms, like it's the only t-shirt I own. And maybe you're thinking about our trips to the coast, or the times that I loved you when you needed it the most. And maybe you wish that we had had more time, but maybe you wish that you had taken one of my t-shirts so that you can sleep till the sun comes up. My t-shirt so that you don't feel alone. My t-shirt so that you believe you're here in my arms, that place that you used to call home, that place